talking about in today's video is going extremely under the radar, in my opinion, in this free agency class. And that is breakout outside linebacker who can rush the passer and be a defensive end, Dennis Gardeck. Now, you see him on the thumbnail, and this is what I came to mind when I've known Dennis Gardeck in the past. But when I look at Dennis Gardeck, especially from that picture that's in the thumbnail, he looks exactly like Clay Matthews to me. Exactly like Clay Matthews. But you take that aspect away, he also looks like Clay Matthews in his face as well. It's crazy. Now, he is not Clay Matthews, let me tell you that. But he is still very solid, and he's going very under the radar in my opinion. Dennis Gardeck is sized more like a linebacker. Undersized, 6 foot, 232 for a defensive end. 30 years old, will be turning 31 when the season is about to start. This is his 7th NFL season. I believe he was undrafted since it does not say his draft profile here. Had 3 sacks this past season, forced fumble and a pick. Now, he's been very solid throughout his career. Very, very solid throughout his career. His first year with the Cardinals, again, keep in mind, former UDFA, 16 games, no stats here besides special teams tackles here. 2019, played 14 games, missed 2, 0 sacks, fumble recovery. Then, 2020 has arguably his breakout year. Played 14 games, missed 2 games, 7 sacks, and a fumble recovery. 2021, played 14 games, once again, missed 3 games. Did not have a sack, did have a fumble recovery. 2022, played 14 games once again. That's crazy. Missed 3 games again, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and an interception. 1 pass deflected. 2023, probably his best season besides 2020. Played every single game, 6 sacks, forced fumble, fumble recovery, and 4 passes deflected. And then this past season, only played 7 games, but he is very productive in those 7 games. You watch the film, he was one of the best linebackers in the NFL to start the season. 3 sacks and a forced fumble and an interception, 2 passes deflected. In his postseason NFL career, he's played 1 game in his postseason career, does not have a single stat besides 1 tackle. So Dennis Gardeck, going very under the radar. You watch the tape and you look at the stats for the first 7 games he played in the NFL season before he went down with a season-ending injury. He was one of the best linebackers in football. To start, I believe, for the first 3 or 4 weeks, he was leading the NFL in sacks. I think he got 2 or 3 of those sacks within the first 2 or 3 weeks. So he was very productive to start the season. I do think he got a sack against us in week 3. So he is a guy I 100% would take a look at. Now, his market value, very reasonable. He can play inside linebacker, outside linebacker, can even play defensive end, even though he's extremely undersized. But his market value is extremely reasonable, in my opinion. His market value is 2 years, $10.4 million, averaging $5.2 million a season. That put him 26th out of all outside linebackers and 365 in the NFL rank. Very, very reasonable. If you can get him, I don't know if I'd give him a 2-year deal, but if you can get him on a 1-year, $5 million deal, $6 million deal, you gotta take a chance at that, in my opinion. If you don't bring back a guy like Davenport, you have to take a chance at Dennis Gardeck. He can play the inside linebacker. If a guy like Derek Barnes, if we re-sign him, if a guy like Alex Anzalone, Jack Campbell, even Rodrigo goes down for a game or whatever, Dennis Gardeck can slide in at inside linebacker. But what I'm viewing him more as an outside linebacker who can rush the passer with him in this case scenario. So, if I'm the Lions, you got to take a look at it 100%. For the aspect that he can play every position essentially on the defensive side of the ball. And inside linebacker, outside linebacker, and defensive end. So, under the radar guy, Dennis Gardeck, in my opinion. A little bit on the older side. Yes, he was a former UDFA, by the way, back in 2018. He's the guy the Lions have to take a look at, in my opinion. So, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you also think the Lions should take a look at him? One pride, go Lions.